I just did.
Okay. Hi. I have to.
Avoid legal status by telling people they're being recorded.
Are you telling me you're recording me?
Yep.
He says, I want to say hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, let's do a little test. Tested. That looks like it worked. Yep. I'm gonna leave that just for the bloopers. You tell me.
1, a 2, a 3. Record.
It sounded like you did a voiceover of record. Like it was like 1, 2, 3 sounded like live, and then it sounded like you dubbed in record. Record. Okay, I'm afraid the cat's gonna mess this up, but hold on. Cat. Here. I'm gonna trap this cat in here if that's okay.
Take these things.
Well, at least for now, maybe he'll forget. No, go work on the car. No, go get water and then work on the car. We need water. But you can work on the car. I said that's fine. You can totally do it. It's totally fine. I do this all the time when you're not here. Okay, I'm really excited. 1, 2, 3. I don't know if that's going to line up because of my crazy, but thanks. Okay.
Welcome back to the In Raw Life podcast. We are pretty ecstatic that you're here today. I'm ecstatic because I have no idea what we're talking about today.
Oh my gosh, no joke. I forgot for a second what we were talking about too. I thought about it a week ago, but I remember now. Sorry, keep going.
Okay. Are we doing reality checks or no?
Yeah.
Okay. The reason why I don't know what we're talking about today is because it's Ciara's birthday episode where she gets to pick the topic, and it's a surprise to me until now.
Today.
I'm going to have to wait a couple minutes because I need to know what Ciara's reality check is.
Well, hey, you need a passy. Gray's reality check is that he needs to put a passy in his mouth and take a nap. No. Here. Come on. Hold on. Ugh. Look. Take. There you go. Here, you want to play with this? Play with this. It's fine. Got this for him to play with. It's a drawer organizer. Relax.
Okay.
Okay. So, hold on. I need to also silence my phone because I'm already getting messed. Why do people always blow up my phone when we're recording? Oh no. Hold on. I don't know what I'm doing. Hold on. Give me.
Sorry, YouTube.
Okay. Lo siento, YouTuber niece. I don't know if you can see me anymore or not. There we go. Okay, so back to it. Oh, Jay started the car as soon as I was back to it. I'm sure you don't hear that at all, but I hear it and it distracts me. Okay. Great. I have to get to my reality. Okay.
Your reality is.
My reality is that I can't get my head on straight. My reality is that this week has been extremely tough, followed by some extremely tough weeks, followed by an extremely tough year. So, 2020. That's
you mean preceded by?
Followed by. Preceded by. Yes.
Yeah, no, it is not going to be a tough.
No. Yes, I rebuke that statement into the world. Anyway. No, yes, preceded by. So this past week was really tough. And it's funny because I felt like the week before we kept saying like, okay, next week, everything's going to finally get normal. And I think we said that the week before that and the week before that. And it's just been like an endless cycle of weird and difficult weeks, down to the fact that, I mean, this past week alone, I think it was a little weird. And my husband was having issues at work, which was pretty normal by the time he left, which is sad, but we were used to it. And then on his very last day, which was last Friday, we woke up that morning to a text of some random guy trying to ruin our marriage. Very strange. I'm not going to go into details, but it was so bizarre. And then went into a week of like all this other stuff flying at us, where it should have totally jumbled our marriage. It should have totally jumbled this podcast, In Raw Life in Total. All this stuff kept flying, and I probably should have said, hey, you know what? I'm just going to take a week off and see you all, when this calms down. But I guess I'm not that I should have said that, but it would have been easy to say that. And it would have been, what do you want? You want this? Here. What? Take it. It would have been easy to say that, and it would have, I don't know, it would have just like let me sleep for a week and sleep through the drama. But instead, I leaned into it, which is very, very different from my personality. I usually try to avoid emotions at all costs, but I didn't. I leaned into it, and I experienced the strangeness. Even my husband was talking to one of his cousins about it, because he's like, there's one day he's like, I can't do it anymore. This is all weird stuff. And his cousin said, it happened. You have to embrace it. Now just sit back and watch it like a sunset. Like, you can't change the emotions. You can't change the situation. You can't ignore it. I mean, ignoring it's not really going to do anything, but you also can't keep stressing out of it, because stop, please. Ugh. Take, but you, shh, please. But you also can't keep stressing out over it, because that's not going to fix anything either. So anyway, all in all, even though it's been a week from hell, and probably one of the hardest weeks that my husband and I have been through, akin to the week before Arrow was born. Like, I can pinpoint these really tough weeks in our marriage. But this was so beautiful to see how strong our marriage was. I mean, we did get into a few arguments, I'm not gonna lie, but to see how much we persevered through it and came together in it, instead of letting everything around us bring us apart, we decided to lean on each other, and to admit when we needed help. And I saw this Instagram post. I don't even remember where I saw it. It was weird that I came across it, but it was like a tweet of somebody saying, I told my friend that I'm hitting an emotional wall, and she said, sometimes walls are there for us to lean on and take a rest. And I swear to you, that popped on my feed in the middle of my emotional wall. So Jay's as well. So it was just, I shared that with him, and we both have just been leaning on each other through it. So it's been a beautiful week in regards to how I can see how emotionally and mentally strong we've become since our last, like, most tumultuous week 4 years ago. So that was a really beautiful side to a very tragic week.
Yeah, I have to say, I don't get to fully see you and Jay doing that because we're not in person, but just seeing how you have handled it all, and being there, being your friend through when you've gone through things before that you just like, I'm just gonna never mind that for a while. And it's like, wow, like it's really fun to see the growth and the change, and I'm proud of you.
Oh, thanks. I know, it's funny when I like look back at my 20-year-old self, or like 20 something self. I look at her and I'm like, girl, why did you handle it like that? You didn't need to. So I'm really grateful.
But that's how you handled it, and then now you get to look back. If you learned from that, if you hadn't, maybe if you done any, it's getting too like deep into, if you hadn't done that, this would happen.
Oh,
but it's what was meant to happen, so that then you can learn from it.
Jay asked me too. He's like, have I given you a temper? maybe he doesn't want me to share this. Well, I'll ask him when I get to editing. He's like, have I made it to where you have a worse temper? Because he's not afraid to speak his mind and confront a situation. And I was like, no, you've made it so that I know how to stand up for myself when I'm being pushed against a wall. Like, I used to just let people walk all over me and take advantage of me. And I don't like having to be assertive or aggressive in some cases, but I would prefer that over being walked all over and not like standing up for myself. So I like who I am, and he has a lot to what okay, we're not gonna use that as a horn right now. I have to give him a lot of credit for it, but yeah, I'm proud of who I've become. So here I am. It's a perfect birthday episode. Here I am, right?
Here I am.
34. 34? Is that what I am? What are you?
Yeah, I'm gonna be 35. So yeah.
Okay, so I'm 34. Okay, here I am, and I love it. I'm very excited for who 34-year-old Ciara is. I'm still 33. I'm not going to make it 34 yet. A few more days. Anyway, so what's your reality?
My reality. It's been a weird week here, so I've been kind of out of it. It feels like such a long week. Even hearing your week, I feel like you told me that like some of the things at the beginning of the week so long ago, more than a week ago.
I feel the same way.
On my end, Emmeline, I mean, you know this, Emmeline got sent home a week and a half ago with cold symptoms, the same symptoms she had a month prior. But she got sent home, which I'm fine with them being cautious, and then had to take a rapid test 2 days later, and she got positive on that. And then so Jed and I both tested over the weekend to see if we had it, gave it a few days, and we were both negative, but she still had to stay home all week. Obviously, I mean, she had hardly any symptoms. It was nothing. So she was home all week, which was weird. Luckily, she did virtual school, which was good for her, but she was just being on a screen all day like that and not really having kid interaction while I have to be working is rough. Yeah. And then Jed was home for 3 days of that just purely because it was crappy weather and he couldn't really work. So it was just a really weird week, which made me tired. Like when everyone's home, it just makes me it makes me want to be lazy. And I did all my work and I did everything that needs to be done, but I was tired. Even right now, I realized I did not drink coffee before we did this morning. And maybe I should have.
Do you want to go make a cup? Because I was about to go grab my cup.
No, I'm good. I can make it through. So yeah, it was just a weird week. And there was there was one day where I got really in a funk too, but I persevered. Yeah. And yeah. And I've realized, especially through like our amazing group of women in a community in a Facebook group that we have started, where, talking with them about how like we're being supportive and we're empowered and acceptable. Huh?
Do you hear the scratchiness? He's got my other AirPod in his hand, so I don't know if it's scratchy.
Okay. It might.
I just didn't want it cutting you off. If you can't hear it, it shouldn't cut you off. But keep going. Sorry. Back to our amazing empowered group.
Yeah, so our amazing group, it's like, we're talking in there and we're talking about what we're proud of the other day. And I was like, ooh, I am so proud that I don't let other like things that other people answer that sometimes might have like hurt my feelings, but it had nothing to do with my feelings, but just like kind of got me down. I don't let them. I let them roll off much quicker if they even get on me at all anymore. Like, oh wow, that was a fun real.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that in that comment in the group, and I loved it. So I mean, we should use this as a shout out moment. Can you hear me?
Yeah, that was super not fun.
That was frustrating.
Did you
the goodness
computer?
I never did. I could hear you say, "Please don't stop your computer."
Play though.
What?
I did. Go ahead and stop it. I did.
I knew you would. I knew it. But wait, where did you stop it at?
Just go ahead and stop it and we'll clap. It'll be fine.
Okay. You tell me when to record.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, record.
Okay. I'm at 2053 if you want to keep note of where my clap will be. All right. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
So,
our next reality is that we had terrible technical difficulties. I think we were right about to share our Facebook group. Jessica, do you want to share that before the computer rudely interrupted us?
Our new Facebook group is a supportive community of women who are super passionate about what they're doing in the world and want to fulfill their potential and be there for each other and egg each other on. It is called Empowered Unstoppable Women. We would love to have you there.
Yay! All right.
Okay.
Well,
10 hours later.
Those rawnesses. That sounds awful. Okay. Well, should we get into it then?
Yes.
Are you excited? Oh my gosh. I can see the anticipation in your eyes. Okay, so I thought that since it's my birthday and I can talk about whatever I want to create a 6th love language.
Ooh.
Yes, I know you didn't think it was going there. I thought this was also a perfect topic because February's kind of been love themed. So I had a few ideas of what I wanted to talk about, and then this came up for me and I was like, dude, I think this really is something.
Okay.
No, sir. No, thank you. Hold on. Oops, sorry. Okay, had to throw the cat away. Had to throw him in the trash. So here's my thought. Maybe this is just me being super spoiled, but I don't think so. I really do think I have something. So Jay always tells me that I am not I don't have 1 or 2 love languages. I have all of the love languages. And I hear what he's saying, but I'm just trying to tell him, like, any of these will make me happy. Just do them, like, don't tell me you're going to buy me flowers and then not do it. Or I should more specifically say, don't tell me you thought you were going to, sorry. Don't tell me you were going to buy me flowers, but chickened out. Like, I don't want to hear that. Just bring me the dang flowers or don't say a word. That's real life. So anyway, when I take the test, first of all, the love languages, you know them, right?
Yes.
Go ahead.
They are acts of service.
Yep.
Quality time. Mm-hmm. Physical touch.
Yeah.
Gifts.
Mm-hmm.
And I always forget one.
Words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation.
Have you taken the test before?
Oh yeah, I have the book.
What is your love language?
So when I just took it most recently, because I gave Emma and the kids love language one test, I got quality time. And I usually get quality time, but it comes close with physical touch. Like, they're usually really, really close. And then a third one pretty close too.
Which, the third one you don't remember?
I don't know.
Okay.
It might be acts of service. I don't know.
That's what I figured. Yeah. Thinking of the ways that you act and appreciate. That's what I would think too. Which, by the way, this is hilarious and a total tangent. But when we were having our technical difficulties and you were doing a lot and I was waiting, I'm like, I should make her that coffee. And then I realized I couldn't give it to you.
That was lovely, though. That was so sweet.
Well, you're such a giver. And I'm like, I want to give to my twos. Like, I always try to give to my twos, but I literally cannot give you the coffee I want to make you. So I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. Anyway, okay, so for me, when I take the test, I feel like I have to take it 2 different ways because what I want from my husband is different than what I want from everybody else. So
the test that we took recently, it was it was one for kids, and in that same thing, there was also one for couples and a different one for single people.
Did you take them all?
No, I just took the couples one, and Emlyn took the kids one.
So when I first took it, I guess, yeah, when I first took it, I took it because I'm like, I would answer these differently as if it was getting love from you versus getting love from Jay. And so when I do like from friends, my biggest thing that I want is quality time. I feel bad if you give me gifts or acts of service. It like, I don't need that. Even physical touch. I'm like, oh, no. Like, you don't need to give me a massage. I really appreciate it. But no, my husband, on the other hand, I need words of affirmation and I need physical touch and I need gifts and I need acts of service. No, I'm just kidding. I don't need all of it, but
they're all very appreciated.
Yes, I really appreciate. Oh, hold on.
These headphones, man.
I know. They're out to get us this time. But no, so when I took the test, though, it was words of affirmation and physical touch that are very close for me. And I know my husband is quality time and acts of service, which I can do quality time till the cows come home, but I'm not a fan of acts of service. Like, he thinks I love him if I do the dishes, and I really don't want to do the dishes at all. So, so that's us. What did Jed do it too?
Jed took it. He got quality time too.
Oh,
which
nice.
I'm surprised by. I really thought it would have been acts of service.
Wow. Yeah, so excuse me. So the thing with love languages is they say that you usually are the same, like whatever you want is usually the same that you give, but in some cases it could be different. For Jay, in his case, like acts of service, like I said, is the least on my list because I think doing the dishes is just something that needs to get done. If he does it, I don't think it's love. I think it's chores. But on the flip side, he sees it as an act of service. So if I do the dishes before he gets home, he feels very loved, which is sometimes easy and sometimes not. So anyway, our differing love languages are difficult, but I mean, we're opposites in every way. So we often are presented with these difficulties. But the biggest thing that bothers me is how he says that I'm all of them. And I feel like I am in different moments. And that's when I discovered the sixth love language.
Okay.
I think the sixth love language is support. And support is all encompassing. I don't care if you buy me a coffee just because. I appreciate it. But if you buy me a coffee because I'm having a hard day and I feel like I can't get up, I feel loved. Or if you tell me I look pretty, I'll be like, ah. But if you tell me I look pretty because I keep looking in the mirror and feel ugly that day, I feel loved. And I think that goes with each thing. Like if you give me a back massage because I've been carrying the kids and I'm sore, I feel more loved than just a random back massage. Or if you hug me because I'm sad, more loved than just a random hug. I mean, I do appreciate a random hug. I do. But I think that there is a sixth love language, and I think it's support. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm totally into that because it's funny how you were saying, like, he says that you're all five. And I mean, who wouldn't appreciate them and who wouldn't want them at different times? You're right.
Yeah.
I can feel the same way. That's why when sometimes I look at it, I'm like, oh yeah, I could see how quality time is really important to me. And then I know that I try to give that, but I know that most people it usually doesn't work out. So then I try to give in different ways, like acts of service or gifting is usually how I try to give. Just lost my train of thought. Where'd it go?
Oh, wait. Hold on. It's right here. Oh, it's a heavy thought. I like it. It's a good one.
Oh, okay.
The ways you give or the ways you love.
Yeah, when you look at all five of them, it's like, oh yeah, like getting a gift in certain situations makes me feel great. Like if it's well thought out and it's appropriately timed, not just like, oh, I picked this up. Like,
yeah,
that's great. I'll harp on Jed a little bit. One time, a couple months ago, we got into a fight And I know he meant well. Like, I think that gifting is the way he gives, even though he got the quality time is what he wants. And I can see how he wants the quality time. He just won't say it.
Right.
But like, so we got into some sort of fight. I don't even remember what the heck it was about. And he like left. He had to go get something from Publix. And he comes back, and like his way of like, here's my olive branch, was 2 like Southern Living magazines. And I was like, I see what you're doing, but this is like I've literally said I love flowers. Next come home, you know I love plants, or like a chocolate bar, like 2 magazines to me. And I'm sorry, babe.
Trash
is waste money. like
that's so sweet.
And at that time we were like, you know, talking about money and how like, okay, you need to like not spend on things that are not necessary.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's ever seen me hold a magazine before. Like okay. So in that sense, I get that he was really trying.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the time or the item. Like,
yeah.
I probably just hug and some quality time and talk.
Yeah.
Or a bouquet of flowers. Any of
some Hershey's Kisses, something.
So yeah, like there's definitely a time and place for each thing. And going back to like how we talk about self-awareness all the time, being aware of the other person too. Any of the love languages are a form of giving.
Yeah.
It's giving something.
And
like our giving episode, you know, you give not because you want something in return, but because you enjoy the giving and what it does for the other person.
Yeah.
So you need to be self-aware and aware of the other person and what they would love and appreciate.
Yeah.
Or, yeah. That's where my. But.
So, do you think then that my idea of support as a 6th love language, do you think it's actually a 6th love language, or do you think that there is a flaw to the 5 love languages in the fact that, because they do say in the 5 love languages that your love language can change over time, but can it change hourly depending on the need? So
yeah, I think it's just a bit more flawed. Like it's nice to have it all wrapped up in a little bow. Like, oh, here's the 5 different types of love languages, and you're gonna fit into it, and it can change over time. Like that's great and all, but it's so generalized, and we are such complex beings that it's hard. But I think support encompasses them all. And maybe not the 6th one then, but maybe it's the overall arching, like what the part of the reason behind this podcast is support for others, and support knowing that like whatever you're going through is okay. And hopefully we'll touch on a topic that helps you become more okay with it. So I think support is like the main love language.
Yeah.
Need support, which means everyone also hopefully will give support.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess if with that idea, then hold on. Oh, wow. That was huge. I'm so sorry. Was not expecting that. I know. But I'm embarrassed. No. But because we're not cutting YouTube. What was I gonna say? No, that burp took my thought away. Support, all encompassing. Oh, I do. So yeah, I think if you come to it from that approach, that support first, love language second, I think that kind of changes an approach. So, the approach in general. So like now, if I know your love language is quality time, okay, I'll come hang out with you. But if I know you're going through a hard time, I will go to support primarily and see how I can best support you. If you just had a baby and you're stressed and overwhelmed, I will come clean your house. I will give you acts of service, even though that's not your love language, because that's the support you need before quality time, before I come and sit on your couch and stress you out while you're trying to nurse a brand new baby. I mean, not quite what you need in that moment.
Well, see,
So
that's worse inside me is like say I'm in that situation and I have a brand new baby, like, and a friend comes and cleans the house. I am so appreciative of it, and I don't want to stop them because I want it. But then I'm like, but I also just want them to come hang with me. I just want my friend. Like
really,
I am so big on quality time. Like I don't know if that's just me or if that's like the two in me or what, but like I I've realized this, especially after like editing our unloved episode.
mm-hmm.
I legit just love relationships, and I've
Yeah.
always been. I always just want to be with my people. Like even when summer camp used to end, and like I would cry because camp was over. It wasn't because camp was over. It was the relationships and the people. Like
Mm-hmm.
I just love my people, and I want them, and I want to be with them like at all times. So
Yeah, that makes
yeah,
sense. So maybe
huge for me, no matter what.
So maybe it is a sixth love language then. And for you, quality time is your number one. And for me, support is my number one.
Maybe.
Because I also think, like, I get mad at my mom a lot. we, we all know this by now. But
Okay. Not like you're the only one that gets mad at
I
your mom.
know. I know. But I get so frustrated with her because I'm like, doesn't she know what I need? Like, can't she see? And I think back, I don't know if I've talked about this before, but when I was putting the Christmas tree up this year, I'm going through the ornaments and like, because my mom gets me an ornament every year, which is a gift, right? Like, I'm not huge on gifts, but I appreciate all the gifts that my mom gets me. And every year I get an ornament. There's this year from like, so we moved in we became a blended family when I was 13, 14, 14. And so like year 14 through 18, actually probably 14 through 21, the ornaments are like weird. They're awful. Like what? Not, they're not awful. They're just not me. So when I was little, it always matched me. Like I have a 101 Dalmatians ornament from when I was 9 because I was obsessed with 101 Dalmatians when I was 9. Why does that sound weird? That's the right name, right? 101 Dalmatians?
Yeah.
Okay. It's so weird. Anyway, and you can see like throughout, there was a year I was obsessed with cats. I got a cat ornament. And then one year I got this like teddy bear holding my name. And I was like, what is this? Like and it was pink, and pink wasn't my favorite color. Purple was my favorite color at the time, whatever. And I actually brought it up to her and she was like, well, I just got it because you never can have anything with your name because it's so weird. And I'm like, oh, I wish that 16-year-old Ciara knew that, because 16-year-old Ciara saw a teddy bear with a heart in pink and thought, what is this for? An 8-year-old, and felt a lack of love because I felt like she didn't understand me. And that had nothing to do with love language, or not, sorry, had nothing to do with words of affirmation or quality time or physical touch, which are my usual go-tos. It had to do with gifts. And I don't really care about gifts normally, but the lack of support broke my heart. So that's where I got to stop getting mad at my mom and just tell her, Mom, I need support, which I've been doing this year. I've been explaining very clearly how much support I need. And I think she's getting it.
I feel like it's hard for most people to ask for support. Like people, like even Jed, who doesn't really filter himself, he's not going to ask. Like he'll ask you, like, hey, not even ask. He'll be like, hey, I need this done, or like, can you do that? Blah blah blah. Like he's not for support that's like supporting him as a person.
Yeah.
Like I think it's hard for pretty much anybody
to ask for support.
Because one, it's letting in the fact that like, hey, I can't handle this on my own, which most people don't want to admit to.
Yeah.
And I said A, right? And B, like it's just, yeah, it's hard to open yourself up that much, even if it's someone who's super close to you.
Yeah. That gave me the thought of the one of the things you sent me this week, that was the guy that was talking about how he's saved 9 out of 10 arguments with his wife by asking, do you need, what were the 2 things? Do you need
do you need solving, or do you need like compassion?
Yeah, those are, how did he word it? It doesn't matter. Oh, you can look it up. Is where you can look it up?
Yeah, but was it on Instagram?
No, you sent it via WhatsApp. It was, do you need something or solutions? Do you need like love or solutions? And my whole point, whatever it was, is yeah, like, do you want somebody or comfort? That's what do you need comfort or solutions? So that's like, a lot of times we try to problem solve with somebody when they have a problem and they don't want that. They just want comfort. But then there's other times where like, I know that I'll come to somebody and I'll be like, and this is what happened. And they're like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, no, but what do I do? So I need the solutions in this case. And either way, him saying, I asked my wife, which do you need, comfort or solutions? That's support. So a lot of times it's hard to ask for support. So I think it's really
to realize for the other person to realize that, oh, I can ask for it.
Right. I think honestly, like that's what, like you said, that's what this podcast is about, is it's about support. I mean, I think we're here to support you and knowing you're not alone, but not just to support you, but to encourage you to support others. Because if you have a heart of compassion, you can see the needs of others and you can speak up. And sometimes it's weird to be like, oh, this guy is hurting and I probably should just ask him if he needs a little help, but that puts me out of my comfort zone. I always feel the situation out and see like, hey, maybe I can actually make a difference in this person's life. I mean, if they're talking to a tree, don't talk to them. You can walk by. That's for your safety. But if someone like,
it was for them, like call somebody that can help them.
Yeah, that's the best way you can support. But if there's somebody else that like, sometimes you can just see someone's having a tough day and you could tell them they're pretty. I do that anytime I see someone just kind of like going along and they're in the grind and not really looking fueled. What?
You can even say like, oh, I love your shirt, or what cool shoes, or I don't know, something that just like brings them up and like, oh, I'm connected to humans.
Yeah. I honestly, I mean, it's weird to say it because it's weird, but I will tell women when I think they're so unbelievably beautiful. And it's not because of their looks, it's because I can just tell by their smile or the way that they're talking to someone else. I will stop a woman in a restaurant and tell her, I just need you to know you are absolutely beautiful. What?
Said you're one of them. That's so sweet.
Well, because it makes a difference. And like,
no, those thing.
I think any of us can do it. Like, there's no reason not to. And like, so a lot of times though, like a thought that comes in my head is, oh, like that woman's really pretty, but she's with another woman. So I don't want to tell her she's pretty because that might make the other woman not feel pretty, but it doesn't. Like, I've had that thought and I've done it anyway. And what it does is the other woman affirms what I'm saying and also sees like, yeah, this is somebody that every time I talk, I can't hear you for some reason. Go ahead.
That's like, I was thinking when someone else sees you do that, especially to a friend of theirs, they're like, oh, like that's how you treat others. Like, and then that gives both of them the chance to go do it too.
Yeah, exactly. I think when you do it, it empowers others that they can do it too. Yeah. Yeah. And it's cool. Like one time I said that to somebody and she's like, her friend was like, I know, right? Like, look at her. She just radiates beauty or something. Like she radiates kindness or joy or whatever the word was. So it just reaffirmed. And I think the world needs more of that, like calling to light the good in someone.
Yes, like go ahead. It can be the positive butterfly effect because you have no idea, like that person, it might just like give them that little spark where then they go do it to someone else and they're like, oh, this feels good, like make others feel good, and then everyone starts doing it, and then we're all, I feel like I always end in this statement, and then we're all doing it and it's a much better world.
It's true though. It's true. The little things, the little tiny things. I was talking to someone on Instagram yesterday and she was like, I don't know, like I'm just, I support people in any way I can that have gone through the same thing as me. And I hope it'll make a big difference one day. I don't know what it's going to do, but I know one day it's going to be big. And I told her, it's not one day. It's right now, today, because you breathing life into someone who's going through a hard time, for that one person, that's huge. It may seem small to you because you just said like, oh yeah, I made it through with this. And that's like it takes up 5 minutes of your day. But for them, it changes their whole mentality and their whole approach to life. And can literally be life-saving by you supporting someone with your words. So that is a tangent from all of the love language, but I guess it still deals with support. So
It's connected.
yeah.
I like it. I feel like we should play a game.
I know. I don't know. I came up with the topic and kept it from you while I was thinking through it. So you have to come up with a game.
Okay. What did we do on my birthday episode?
I don't remember. I don't even remember the topic. Do you?
I think it was something related to like, why do I have to be the adult?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I'm ready.
We're gonna relate it back.
Huh?
We're gonna relate it back.
Okay, I'm so excited.
The 5 love language, or do you want to do 6 love language? Lightning round question. Best of.
I
Like the best gift someone ever gave you.
Oh yes, I love it. I love it. Okay, let's do it.
Okay. Are we gonna go back and forth, or you just want me to do you? Because I'm fine either.
Back and forth. Back and forth
Okay.
sounds good.
Ciara.
The
Lightning.
best gift. Everyone, that's good. Go
What
ahead.
what is the best gift someone ever gave you?
The gift of life. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I feel like it was recent, and I'm trying to think. I have such a bad memory, but I know that I got a gift recently, and it was like it was a support gift. What was it? I don't remember. It'll come back to me. What was the best gift you ever got?
See, it's hard for me to think of like, because I think in practicalities when it comes to gifts. Like what was something that I wanted.
For a vacuum?
No. But like as long as it's something that I really wanted and it brings value to my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I can only think, and like if it's been in my life for a long time, which this one hasn't, but it's my most recent gift that I got too, was a massage gun from my dad for the holidays.
Oh, what does that do?
I want massages, and neither Jed nor Emmeline are good at it or will do it for longer than like 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a like laser gun, but it has like the different heads on the end, and it like massages.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. But do you have to have somebody do it to you still, or can you do it to yourself?
No, I can do like I can reach most things, and like I do it on the bottoms of my feet, and I was like, oh, that I needed this. It's amazing.
Yeah. Okay, I thought of one in the time. We should have you go first every time because I'm a slow thinker. Mine is maybe not the best gift ever, but it aligns with my favorite kind of gift, which was Trevor, one of my husband's really close friends, who's basically like a brother to him and an uncle to my kids and all that. He had to send Jay a car part that he had off one of his cars and Jay needed. So he's like, here, I'll send this to you. But he didn't just send a car part. In the box, he sent little like rubber finger puppets for Gray, a box of truck Hot Wheels for Arrow, a bag of gummy bears for Jay because Jay loves gummy bears, and a Starbucks gift card for me. And it's just like that all-encompassing love feels so good to me. Like anytime somebody gives a gift to me and Jay or me and my kids, and in this case he did all 4 of us, it just like warms my heart in a place that I can't even explain. Like it's better than like a big extravagant spa day or something like that, because it just means that you love us equally. Like you're not, yes, Jay is your best friend, but because he's your best friend, you love us all the same. And I just, the support of that feels amazing to me.
Yeah.
So, okay. Jessika, what you pick the next love language, but you have to go first.
Okay. Self. What is the best act of service?
Self. Well, self, she here.
This
Active
is not
service.
a
Okay, I better start thinking and stop.
not a very lightning round.
I know. Thank God for editing. Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
My family taking care of my little family. Oh, no, I have two. This is really hard.
You can say both. It's okay.
Okay.
That's totally fine.
The 2 weeks after we had Emmeline,
I knew you were going to say that.
we had back-to-back people. But the 2 weeks after, my mom came out, my dad came out, my brother came out in the first 2 weeks, back-to-back, and a little overlapping. And they just took care of us. I didn't have to cook. I didn't have to clean. I didn't have to do laundry. I just had to recover from surgery and take care of me and enjoy my family. So that's
I love it.
Number 2 was when my mom passed. And like just the overwhelming support. Like Jed came down, like took off work, came down, and my 2 other best friends came in, and they just like, and my dad came too. Like just the overwhelming love and like how much they just took care of everything that I couldn't handle. And all like tons of the families from the school I was working at like did a meal train for Emmeline and I for like months straight. I was blown away. It was like crazy.
Oh, yeah. I think that's like, that is support, like that's when you need it most. And that's, so good. For me, I was thinking like this one's really recent, but I also think that acts of service is super hard for me to accept from people until recently. So I'm like, I'm remembering it because it's recent or because I'm only recently accepting applications for acts of service to my life. But we just got our house up on the market and I was so stressed. My mom was out of town, so I felt a lack of support. But no, I was really stressed out because I couldn't get everything done. And I asked one of my other friends if she could come over. And she came over one day and like watched the kids while we got stuff done and then helped me like pack up Christmas and all this other stuff. But then she came back the next day and redid my closet because I'm the fool that's thinking, oh, well, if people are going to come look at my house, they're going to open my closets and I don't want it to look hideous. And my closet looked hideous. So she, in an act of service, I asked her, I was like, do you want to help me organize my closet? Which was like her love language. Like, give me organization. What'd you say?
That sounds so fun to me.
I know. And so she didn't just come over and organize it. Like she got somebody to watch her kids, came over, brought hangers so that every article of clothing was on a matching hanger and hung out with me while she did it, which just like it hit so many love languages in one out of an act of service. So that's why it would be one of my.
Often they overlap too.
They do. Yeah, they do.
Okay. Self. Even though this is Ciara's birthday episode.
It's fine.
Physical touch.
Oh. My best physical touch. This one, the name of this one is so awkward, but
it is. So this is a weird one because physical touch is one of my love languages, but I also remember physical touch pretty, like they're part of my memories. So like this is what I'm coming up with right now. There's only been 2 very close people to me who have passed in my life thus far. And I can remember the last physical touch from both of them. So, and it like plays in my, like, I remember it often, like it comes up often. Like I can still remember my grandfather, like us holding hands, like right before I left the house. And then that happened to be the last time. And then I still remember like my mom, like showing me on my body and then hugging me, like showing me like where stuff had come back and then hugging me. And then that was the last time that I saw her too. So I'll say that those are the best just because they're tied to very important people to me who I didn't know was the last time until it was.
Oh,
how would it be I keep going really down.
No, that's okay. They're beautiful. Oh, I love it. I love them. Well, I'll bring it back up. It's a good thing I go second because I can't think, and I can lift us up with something not that exciting. But for me, I think the one that stands out the most clearly is a couple years ago, I was doing the my dinner detective show, and I didn't realize that it wasn't at the hotel that we usually do it at, that it was at a special place. Like every now and then we'd have like a party, a private party at a location.
Oh,
And I didn't realize that. And I hit traffic on the way, which I mean, I probably left 10 minutes. I probably left 5 minutes too late, assuming I'd go 100 over the bridge to make up for it. Then got stuck in traffic, so I couldn't go 100 over the bridge. And then got to the hotel and walked inside and was like, "Where is everyone?" And the hotel manager was like, "It's not here tonight." And I was like, "What do you mean?" I thought he was kidding. And so I called and they're like, "No, it's over here." And so we weren't going to get to do a rehearsal, which I was bummed about because it was Great Gatsby themed and I couldn't wait to do the rehearsal. And there was just like, I was so stressed, and I got there and I'm like, okay, like get in the character and do all this stuff and whatever. Oh, and we were also like undercover, like they couldn't know what it was all, there's so much pressure. And I walk in and I was like, okay, like hopefully I look okay because we had different clothes than normal. And then I was a detective, so my co-detective, I was like, I like complimented him. I'm like, "Wow, your suit looks great, whatever." And he's like, "Thanks." And I'm like, an hour later, I'm like, "You didn't compliment me." And I needed to know that I looked okay because I was freaking stressed. I was like so pissed about it. I'm like, "You didn't, I gave you a compliment. You return the favor usually." And he said, "Don't you remember what I did?" And I was like, "No, I don't." And he's like, "I gave you a hug." And I was like, "Oh." And he's like, "Isn't one of your love languages physical touch?" And I'm like, "Yes." And he's like, "Yeah, I gave you a hug. I thought that would help." And I'm like, wow. Like I was so selfishly like powering forward. Like, why didn't he think I was pretty? Like, why didn't he say nice dress when I told him his suit looked awesome? Like a give and take here. But he's like, no, he gave what he thought I needed, which I guess at this point, like it wasn't exactly what I needed, but still the thought of it, like he gave me a hug knowing, hey, you're stressed, let me hug you. Maybe that'll help bring your heart rate down and bring you back to like, we're here, we're connected, we're going to go do this. It's going to be awesome. So I've just appreciated that a lot.
Yeah, sometimes coming from someone who's not that close to you means even more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the fact that he acknowledged, like, because I guess we'd had the love language talk. And so he knew that would mean something to me. And little did he know words of affirmation meant more. But no, but still, like his effort of support speaks way more volumes than the actual gift or love language itself. So yeah. Anyway, okay. Self, you got some more questions.
Words of affirmation. Let's go there.
Okay.
I
got this one.
This as compliment. And this, like I just said, sometimes coming from some slightly random person means way more than people close to you. Because people close to you have to love you. You know they love you. So like words of affirmation from them, it's wonderful and affirming, but sometimes coming from someone who barely knows you means more. And this is so silly and so vain, but we're raw on here.
Yeah.
There was a 2-night stand back in college that I remember, like one morning we woke up and he looked over and he said something like, "Wow, you're even beautiful in the morning." And I was like,
"Oh,
that was just like,
that is a compliment."
That was huge to me. I remember, and I obviously still remember it. I don't think I've ever told anyone that one.
I think you told me that back in college.
Yeah, I might have like told you and Jess.
Yeah.
Because I was so blown away and I had to share with somebody. But yeah, that. Yeah. I always felt bad like holding it and like when I was married and now like with Jed, like, oh, like that person's compliment meant so much, but it was huge. It was, and he didn't love me, obviously. I didn't love him, but like it meant something.
Yeah. Oh, no, I love it. Thank you for not censoring yourself. For me, it would be I mean, he's said it multiple times, but maybe the first time meant the most, and honestly, every time since, whenever Jay says that I'm doing a really great job, it like stops me in my tracks and like just means so much to me, because I always am trying to do it all, and I always have this like layer of, it's funny, he's usually the one that walks around with a general status of guilt, but I guess I must walk around with a layer of guilt when it comes to him. Like, I'm not doing enough. I'm not spending enough time with the kids, spending enough time with him, doing enough for myself. Like, I'm doing too much for myself, whatever. So when he says I'm doing a really good job after I'm trying to balance it all, it feels incredible. So
Good job, Faye.
I know.
Okay. Are we doing all 6 or are we just doing the 5?
5, yeah.
Okay. So the last one is quality time, which is crazy because this is the hardest one for me. Do you have one?
No. Hold on, I'm thinking. Well,
go for it. It's what came.
Okay. Well, I just am thinking, like, I don't know, because my memory sucks. I don't remember if this actually, well, no. Okay, I'll describe it like this. So when I went through depression at first, when I finally realized what was happening, I was very vocal about it, because I felt like I needed to be, in order to, like, for people to know where I'm coming from. I mean, I guess I wasn't that vocal about it, but I told the people that like matter to me, that were in my life. I guess it wasn't right away, because I thought I told you right away, but it took a while. So, but by the time I had told people, I had one friend in LA who, she always said that I could call her at any time. Like, she's like, day or night, I don't care if it's 3 a.m, you call me if you need me. And that always meant a lot to me. But also, like, looking back at that time, she came to my house a lot. And like, she would come to my house versus me going to her house a lot. And I think, like, towards the end, it might have been because I had a baby. But even in the beginning, like, she just did. Like, she prioritized spending time with me because she knew that I was in a dark place, and that being with people helped bring me out of it. So I think that would probably be the best quality time for me. It's a good thing I went first this time, because that one's really dark. Bring it up.
Well, I don't have like a specific one thing memory. It's hard. This is a hard one for me, and I think it may mean that I need to do some work. I think it's like the pride too coming out of me.
What do you mean? Like, in what way?
So like, I think the, like, like the pride of the two, like, oh, like I'm so good at being a friend, and I'm really good at like giving quality part, and like I know often I get really salty about like feeling like I don't get enough quality time from people. But the time period that sticks out to me is right after Gabe and I split, and I was living, in a house, just the two of us, Emmy and I, and like off base and all that. And there were a couple of friends from work who we just like hung out a lot. Like, we were doing couch to 5K, and we would go out and stuff like that. And that meant a lot to me, because that definitely helped me, one, not just be in a complete funk, and like helped me begin to heal. So that's quality time, I think. And that was huge.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely it is. That's a good one. I just wanted to let you know that you are beautiful.
Dang, you got me first.
Well, on that note, a bunch of cars outside. Well, there you have it. That's my birthday episode. Hooray! I'm a crazy Pisces, type 7 on Enneagram.
Hey, Pisces.
I know. What am I? I can never remember the ENJT, or I don't know what that is. But my love language is support. I like long walks on the beach when I need them. So anyway, thanks so much for joining us on this very special occasion of celebrating my birth. We're super glad that you guys keep coming back. And if you've made it this far in the episode, I think you might have liked it. It's okay to admit if you liked it. And in fact, you don't have to admit it out loud. You can just pick up your phone and go to the rating and review section of the podcast platform you're listening to it on.
And show us some support.
Oh, hey, there you go. Give it a 5-star rating, please. Give it a share. There's buttons to share it if you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. You can share it to Instagram. Subscribe so that way you get notifications every Thursday at 12 a.m. Eastern that a new podcast is up. And hopefully. and it supports us and it helps our podcast to grow. So if you do share it on Instagram, tag us at inrawlife.co and join our community. Join our Facebook community. There's a link on that Instagram to join the Facebook community. So you can click over there and join our empowered, unstoppable women. Men need not apply.
Sorry, maybe in the future. If you would like to be a part of our podcast, you can. You don't even need a microphone like us. No fancy equipment, just your phone or your computer. Open up the recording app and start recording. And
I can't hear you anymore. I don't know if you're gone. Oh no. I still can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Okay. Yes, I can.
And send that recording to podcast@inrawlife.com.
Sorry. It was just so funny because I could see you, but I couldn't hear you, and I'm wondering if that's what'll be on YouTube. So it's just funny.
Oh,
keep going.
It's funny. And then you'll be at the beginning of an episode, just like this one. Until next week, we hope that you think about your love languages and maybe, just maybe, the 6th love language will be yours. I also send Ciara a happy birthday message. Her birthday is on February 28th. It can be an early birthday message, an on time, or a late one. It still is showing your support for the fact
all messages.
support for the fact that she exists. You can do that at inrawlife.co on Instagram or connect with her however you know how to. And if you see somebody who you just have to say something to because they look sad or they don't, go on and give them a compliment. Let them know they're beautiful today or handsome or have a really cool shirt and see how that will affect this beautiful world.
Yes. Oh, so good. All right. Woo. Stop.
Ooh, that was like
what?
So that was like a marathon.
It was. But even still. Okay. Bye, YouTube.